X-Men is definitely something we've been looking forward to when it comes to the future of the MCU ever since Disney acquired Fox and now owns the X-Men and Fantastic Four and all those other characters, but specifically the X-Men, because we've seen them in the Fox movies for a while, but we really want to see them join the MCU. And Kevin Feige actually mentioned them at last year's San Diego Comic-Con, where he basically confirmed that he and Marvel Studios are working on some sort of project featuring the X-Men, and they are going to be coming to the X-Men. They're going to be coming to the MCU soon. Not like next year soon, like probably like 7 years soon, something like that. I don't really know. But the reason it will be so long is because they need to let us, have time in between the Fox X-Men movies. Because, they're fast-tracking the Fantastic Four movies because the last one came out in, 2015 or something like that. But the last X-Men movie just came out last year. And then we still have New Mutants, which hasn't even released yet. So they need to have time so that we can clear our minds and get some refreshing breath of air here, I guess, without X-Men in our lives. So then we'll be ready for a new rendition of the X-Men in the MCU. So I now have a new scoop from Mikey Sutton, which I've reported on his scoops before. He's a very reliable source, I'd say, because he does have many sources, and even though he is reliable, I always have to say, take it with a grain of salt, because anything that is not official confirmation from directly Marvel Studios, just take it with a grain of salt, because you never know. But he has a synopsis for the first X-Men movie in the MCU, and of course it includes the X-Men team lineup, which is the most important part to me, because one of the coolest parts about the X-Men is all the different characters. So let's go ahead and jump right into this synopsis. So apparently the movie is going to start off with a new team of... Well, actually, the whole movie is going to be about a new team of the X-Men, which will be forming to save the original X-Men. So I really like this idea that there was an original X-Men, and that they've been there this whole time in the MCU. We just haven't seen them because they haven't been out in the public eye. And then this new team of X-Men is going to come together so that they can rescue the old X-Men. So the original team of the X-Men is apparently going to consist of Marvel Girl, aka Jean Grey, Iceman, Angel, unfortunately not Beast, because apparently he left the team at some point, so it does leave the door open for him to come into the MCU at some point and join the team later in a sequel or the third movie or something. But he is my favorite X-Men character, so of course I am a little disappointed that he won't be in this movie, at least according to this report. But at the same time, I'm okay with it because it's kind of similar to the Hulk. If you look at how the Hulk looked in 2012's Avengers, he looked like the Hulk. He looked good. But then if you compare that to Thor Ragnarok in 2017, the Hulk looked way better and more, I guess, Hulkish. So I'd rather they wait and give us a fantastic looking Beast than rush it and give us a Beast that looks like the one we got in the Fox movies, because I really don't like the way he looked in those movies. So I really want to see Marvel Studios and Disney make him look better, because they can do much better than that, especially the longer they wait, the better the technology gets. So yeah, so hopefully that can get better. But the last two remaining members that will be on this original X-Men team include some new recruits, actually. That were recently recruited to the team right before they disappeared, and that is Havoc and Polaris. So those two members were both also a part of the team. And so this original team of X-Men apparently disappeared during a mission on the island of Krikoa, which is an island, obviously, from the comics, and it turns out it's actually a mutant and a living thing, and according to the report, that is going to be part of the movie, that it's not just an island, it's an actual mutant and living thing. So that would be really interesting to see play out on the big screen. Now, like I said, the original team all disappeared, except for one person, though, which is their team leader, and of course their team leader is none other than Cyclops. Who else is going to be the team leader? Maybe Wolverine, but Cyclops has got to be the leader here. So Cyclops is going to go back. He's going to go to Professor X, and they're going to come up with a plan so that they can rescue their team of X-Men, or at least the original team. Especially because, Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, Cyclops has a special relationship with her, I guess you could say. So, of course, he wants to save the old team. So they are going to team up to form a new X-Men team, which apparently will consist of Sunfire. Really interesting to be seeing him here. We have not seen him yet on the big screen before. Banshee, who we have seen, but it'll be nice to be seeing him in the MCU with, a better version of him. Wolverine, of course, the big one we really want to see in the X-Men in the MCU period. I'm really looking forward to this character. Don't know who they're gonna cast, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the character no matter who they cast, honestly. Then, of course, Storm, who's going to have some kind of connection to Wakanda, whether she's from Wakanda or lives near Wakanda, or maybe that just has something to do with her relationship with Black Panther, because I think they are going to do the relationship between her and T'Challa at some point in the MCU. So that'll be really interesting. Then the rest of the team consists of Nightcrawler. Really cool to be seeing him here. Another one of my favorites. Colossus, which will be really interesting because we know that Deadpool is going to be joining the MCU. But if Deadpool is in the MCU and they're having Colossus in this X-Men team, is this going to be the same Colossus from the Deadpool franchise, or is this going to be a completely new one? And when Deadpool comes to the MCU, is it going to be like he was there the whole time, or is it going to be like a multiverse thing? And if they go the multiverse route, is it going to be that he is the only character from his franchise that goes on to the MCU, or is it going to be his whole cast? Because I don't know, but it'll be interesting. But I do like Colossus, so it'll be cool to see him on this X-Men team. And then finally we have Thunderbird. Really interesting choice here. Like I said, they're going for a lot of obscure X-Men characters here that we haven't seen on the big screen before. But when it comes to Thunderbird, and just in case this scoop or report is 100% true, then big spoiler alert here. But you have been warned. But like I said, we don't know how reliable this is. I mean, I think it's reliable, but we don't know for sure if this is what they're going with. And the X-Men movie is in very early development, so things could change. But for now, you have been warned, and at this stage, in this X-Men movie, Thunderbird will die. So his death will take place on the island of Krikoa, while the whole team is saving the original team of X-Men, and, all of that. So really interesting. It's like they introduced this obscure character that's never been on the big screen before, and then boom, dead. So, I mean, it's alright. I mean, I don't know anything about the character, so it doesn't bother me too much. I'm fine with it. And I mean, with a superhero movie, you have to have stakes, and that will really show stakes, like how high they are. Because, I mean, a team member dies, like, those are some high stakes there. You have to know that people are going to die. It's like in Avengers Endgame. You didn't think Iron Man would die, the biggest superhero in the MCU, but he did. I mean, you didn't think it would happen, but it did. So anything can happen here. Maybe some other team members will die. We don't know, but I am definitely excited to see the X-Men come into the MCU. And I just really like the X-Men. I actually prefer the Fantastic Four more, and we are getting those first. But I'm still very excited to see the X-Men in the MCU, especially with this team lineup here. And having a 13-member X-Men team, that's going to be really interesting. I don't know. That's one of the things that kind of makes me not so sure about this report, because I'm not sure if the MCU would go for that with a 13-member X-Men team, like, right at the start. So I think it's an interesting idea, but I don't know if they would really go that far. Maybe some of them won't be on the official team. But that's the cool part about having both an original team and a new team, is that you can merge them together, and then some people can leave the team if they want, some people can stay. and I really like the teams that they've got here. Some of the standouts from this team that are some of my favorite characters from the X-Men. Of course, Iceman, Beast, who actually won't be on the team, but just the mention of him, that's good. Of course, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus. I also like Jean Grey, Marvel Girl. I like everybody here, but those are just the highlights for me that get me really hyped for this movie. And I can't wait to see the X-Men in the MCU. No matter how far down the line it is happening. We are getting them in the MCU. And I just can't wait for it to happen. So, anyways, guys, let me know all your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Are you excited for the X-Men in the MCU? And let me know, who do you want to see on the lineup of the X-Men team? Let me know all of that down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to drop a like and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.